Good evening, saints. We have come to speak on the spirit of rejection tonight. Rejection can be defined as a sense of being unwanted by the people we love. Nobody likes rejection, whether it comes from a crush, peer, family, or co-worker. It can hurt, yet it is an unavoidable part of our life. Some people can shake off rejection easily. For others, this feeling can trigger overwhelming emotional response. Nobody should feel like left out when they are in the midst of people. Some of us are in the storm of rejection and resentment because of some pains in our lives that was caused by the people who betrayed us or who was unfaithful to us. And this has left us with a wounded spirit. You know, we cannot always avoid the pain that comes from those wounds, but we should choose not to let it ruin us for the rest of our lives. Lots of time we park at the point of our pain and forget that God has promised to heal and restore us. I love what the Bible says in Psalms 27 verse 10. Let me read it for you. Psalms 27 verse 10. It says, "Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me." Do you hear, saints? Though your mother and your father forsake you, God will always receive you. I know when a friend you want to have a good friendship with rejects you, it hurts. You feel like, oh, maybe I'm not enough, or maybe I don't have what it takes. That's not the matter. It doesn't matter even if they push you aside. God is saying in Psalms 28 verse 10, whether our parents leave us, the most important people in our lives are our parents, our mother, our father. Even though they reject us, God will always receive us. That's what God says. So don't worry about what people say. And if you look a bit further in the down in like 1 Samuel 28 verse 3 and 7, you know, when God rejected Saul, and he has to go and look for the mediums to tell him what God is saying. Pain in our lives can either push us closer to God or push us away from God. Like, let me read for you in Samuel 28 verse 3 to 7. Let me read it for you. Sorry. It says, "Now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had mourned for him and buried him in his own town of Ramah. Saul had expelled the mediums and spiritists from the land. The Philistines assembled and came and set up a camp at Shunem, while Saul gathered all Israel and set up a camp in Gilboa. When Saul saw the Philistines' army, he was afraid. Terror filled his heart. He inquired of the Lord, but the Lord did not answer him by dreams or Urim or prophets. Saul then said to his attendants, 'Find me a woman who is a medium, so that I may go and inquire of her.' 'There is one in Endor,' they said. So Saul disguised himself, putting on other clothes, and at night he and 2 men went to the woman. 'Consult a spirit for us,' he said, 'and bring up for me the one I name.'" Can you see? When we are in pain, we don't think straight. Dysfunction distorts discernment. We don't think straight. Like, look at Saul. When God rejected him and didn't even talk to him through prophets or through his dream, the very people he has rejected, the people he threw out of the city, the people who he told not to practice their spiritual practices in his city, when God rejected him, he went and looked for those people so they can call up a spirit. So he can call up a spirit and ask why God is not talking to him. And if you read a bit further down in the First Samuel 28, it tells us that when the medium when Saul went to the medium said to Saul, but I cannot do these practices because Saul has commanded us not to do these practices. And Saul disguised himself. How many other times, because of rejection, we hide behind closed doors? How many other times, because of rejection, we cover ourselves up? We're trying to look nicer. We're trying to bury our heads in shackled clothes. One thing you need to know is whether the people reject you or not, God knows the plans He has for you. God is the one who has created you. And He said, though your mother and your father reject you, I will receive you. So saints, you need to hold on to the promises of God and not go around and find comfort in places that will cause us more pain and more rejection. Only place we can find comfort is by the heart of God. Nothing else can give us the completion we need or we are looking for in people. Nothing else. Not even our friends, not even our best designer.